Reginald Franklin, better known by his superhero name Train, was born in 1987. From a young age, he faced hardships. His father passed away when he was just a child, leaving his mother to raise him alone. She worked 2 jobs, and it was his older brother, Nathan, who became a key figure in Train's upbringing. As his powers began to manifest, it became clear that Reginald was no ordinary child. By the age of 3, he had already outrun a bullet fired at his home, marking the first sign of his superhuman speed. Over time, as he trained with Nathan, his abilities grew more potent, eventually earning him a place in Vought's program and his alter ego as a Train. His rise to fame came with an association with the superhero team, the Teenage Kicks. However, it wasn't long before he caught the eye of Vought, who saw him as the next big star of their superhero portfolio. Train's big break came when he joined the Seven, the most prestigious and powerful superhero team in the world. At first, he genuinely wanted to help others, using his powers to make a difference. But over time, his need for fame and recognition overshadowed his noble intentions. Train's dark side emerged as he became more desperate to stay on top. To maintain his position as the fastest man alive, he began abusing Compound V, the very substance that gave him his powers. The abuse took its toll on his health, threatening to shorten his life. As Train continued down this destructive path, he became more erratic, eventually causing the tragic death of Huey's girlfriend, Robin. This event cemented Train's role as an antagonist during the first season of The Boys, but over time, we saw him evolve. By the 4th season, he began helping the protagonists, showing that, deep down, he still had a desire to do right. His character arc is one of redemption, but it's clear that the pressures of fame and the abuse of power have left deep scars. Black Noir's story is shrouded in mystery. He was born around the 1950s to early 1960s, and his early years were marked by an imaginary friend named Buster Beaver, a character he created to comfort himself during emotionally difficult moments. Black Noir's childhood was far from idyllic, and much of his early life remains unknown. What we do know is that his powers are vast, including superhuman strength, speed, durability, and an incredible healing factor. His training in martial arts and assassination techniques made him one of the deadliest figures in the world. In the 1980s, Black Noir joined Payback, a team of superheroes managed by Vought. He was a member of this team during its heyday, but racial prejudice forced him to keep his true identity hidden. His attempts to break free from this system, especially when he auditioned for a movie role, were squashed by the leader of Payback, Soldier Boy. After Soldier Boy's violent retaliation, Noir was left scarred both physically and emotionally, leading him to become a key member of the Seven. Black Noir's relationship with Soldier Boy was fraught with tension, culminating in a betrayal orchestrated by Vought. The company sought to replace Soldier Boy with a new hero, Homelander, and Black Noir was tasked with betraying his former leader. However, Soldier Boy fought back fiercely, resulting in a brutal confrontation that left Noir gravely injured. The scars from this battle were not just physical. They left Black Noir a shadow of his former self, ultimately leading to his brain damage. In the final seasons of The Boys, Noir's loyalty to Vought and his inability to escape his past were put to the test, ultimately leading to a tragic conclusion when Homelander kills him, replacing him with a new version of Black Noir. Margaret Shaw, known to the world as Queen Maeve, was born in 1982. From an early age, Maeve exhibited extraordinary strength and agility, and she was soon inducted into Vought's superhero program. Her story, however, is one of exploitation and personal loss. Her father, seeing her powers as a cash cow, pushed her to participate in beauty pageants, exploiting her abilities for his own gain. Her powers include superhuman strength, durability, and the ability to leap incredible distances. She is known for her fierce determination and her early years of striving to make a difference. At Guilin University, Maeve honed her skills, eventually graduating as the top student. She then joined the Seven, where she quickly rose to prominence as one of the world's most beloved heroes. Queen Maeve's role as a role model for young girls made her a symbol of hope. She became the second most powerful member of the Seven and performed numerous heroic feats. One of her most notable acts was saving a school bus full of children, though it came at the cost of every bone in her body being broken. Over time, her idealistic view of the world was shattered as she came face to face with the dark realities of Vought and Homelander's control over her. Her relationship with Elena, a woman she loved, was one of the few sources of happiness in her life. However, as she became more involved with Homelander, their relationship deteriorated, and Maeve found herself trapped in a toxic cycle. Over the years, Maeve's idealism faded, and she found herself fearing for her life under Homelander's oppressive rule. By the end of Season 3, Maeve made the ultimate sacrifice to save everyone inside a building, and the world believed she was dead. However, she was secretly saved by the boys and went into hiding with Elena, finally free from the constant fear of Homelander's wrath. The Deep, born in the mid-1980s, had a tumultuous journey to becoming a hero. Experimented on at birth by Vought with Compound V, the Deep's abilities included superhuman strength, gills that allowed him to breathe underwater, telepathy to communicate with aquatic animals, and enhanced swimming capabilities. However, these powers came with a curse. At the age of 9, the Deep began hearing the thoughts of every aquatic animal he encountered, believing at first that he was going insane. His mother lied to him, calling it a gift, and as he grew older, his physical transformation continued. He developed gills on his torso, which became a source of deep insecurity. Despite his insecurities, the Deep rose to fame as a member of the Seven, becoming one of America's greatest superheroes. He starred in a movie, Rising Tide, in Vought's cinematic universe, but behind the scenes, his mental and emotional struggles continued to grow. His need for validation led him to mistreat women, believing that if they knew about his gills, they would treat him as worthless. His downward spiral continued as he left the Seven and joined the Church of the Collective, a cult-like organization that exploited its members. Eventually, he defected from the church and sought redemption, releasing his memoir, Deeper, where he recounted his escape from the cult. By the end of his arc, the Deep had begun to realize the depth of his own issues, and his journey was one of self-discovery. Though he had once been a symbol of perfect heroism, his character evolution showed the complexity of being a superhero in the world of the boys. Starlight, also known as Annie January, was born in 1992 with the ability to generate and manipulate blinding light. Growing up in the small town of Middle America, she was raised by religious parents who encouraged her to embrace her powers as a gift from God. However, Annie's path would take a dramatic turn when she was recruited by Vought International. She was initially thrilled to be given the opportunity to become a superhero as a member of the Seven. However, her dream quickly became a nightmare. At first, she joined the team with the hope of helping people and making a difference in the world. But as she soon discovered, the Seven were more concerned with their image and power than actual heroism. She quickly found herself disillusioned with the corporate side of heroism, especially when she realized that Vought had no intention of allowing her to use her powers for real good. Her idealism shattered as she found herself facing systemic corruption, manipulation, and abuse, particularly at the hands of Homelander. Starlight's struggles highlight the tension between being an individual with a desire to help and being part of a system that exploits and controls those very desires. Despite these challenges, Starlight became a symbol of resistance, using her powers to fight back against the corrupt forces within the Seven. Her character arc is one of growth, as she learns to stand up for what's right, even if it means going against the very people she once thought were her heroes. As the series progresses, Starlight becomes a key member of the Resistance, aligning herself with the boys, and ultimately becoming a beacon of hope for the oppressed. Her journey is one of self-discovery, realizing that true heroism is about staying true to your values, even when the world around you is crumbling. Soldier Boy, or Ben Billy Butcher's father figure in the comic book series, is a superpowered soldier whose backstory is rooted in a darker, more cynical version of American patriotism. A Vietnam War-era hero, Soldier Boy was a proud member of a super team known as Payback. His character is a satirical commentary on the idealized versions of American military figures and their place in popular culture. Soldier Boy's powers are derived from Compound V, granting him enhanced strength, speed, durability, and a healing factor that makes him almost invulnerable to physical harm. He is the parody of a Captain America-type hero with a very dark twist. Soldier Boy's time in the show and comics is deeply complex. Despite being incredibly powerful, his role in the superhero world is filled with manipulation, abuse, and trauma. As the leader of Payback, he initially served as the poster child for Vought's military division. However, after his disastrous run-ins with both the political powers that be and the other members of Payback, Soldier Boy falls out of favor. His fallout was triggered when he encountered a disturbing series of events involving fellow heroes, which led to a tragic betrayal within the team. His sense of betrayal and anger only deepened when he was awakened from a lengthy period of captivity to discover that he was being replaced by a new crop of heroes. He eventually comes into conflict with the boys, particularly with Butcher, a man who has his own vendetta against the superhero establishment. Soldier Boy becomes an anti-hero of sorts, seeking redemption and revenge for his past, while struggling with his own identity and purpose in the world. Stormfront, also known as Frock, was born in the 1910s and is one of the oldest members of the Seven. Initially introduced as a symbol of inclusivity and progress, Stormfront quickly reveals herself to be a ruthless, fascist figure with a deep-seated belief in white supremacy and domination. Her powers, stemming from Compound V, include the ability to generate and control electrical energy, as well as superhuman strength and agility. Her role as a member of the Seven was orchestrated by Vought International as a means to further their agenda and rebrand the group as inclusive and progressive. However, Stormfront's dark history begins to surface as she forms a toxic relationship with Homelander, reinforcing his worst impulses and manipulating him to become more brutal. In the later seasons, it's revealed that Stormfront had been a part of Vought's early days, working with Nazi ideology during World War II. Her character serves as a chilling reminder of the long-reaching consequences of unchecked power and the evil that can be hidden behind a carefully cultivated image. As Stormfront's past comes to light, her true, manipulative nature emerges. Her goals aren't just about personal power, but about fundamentally reshaping society to match her horrific beliefs. Her confrontation with the boys and the Seven creates a volatile situation, and her downfall becomes one of the most shocking moments in the series. Homelander, whose real name is John, is the most powerful and terrifying member of the Seven. Created as a parody of Superman, he represents the worst aspects of unchecked power. Born out of a cruel experiment by Vought International, Homelander's powers include superhuman strength, flight, heat vision, and near invulnerability. However, despite his godlike abilities, Homelander is emotionally stunted and deeply insecure, having been raised in isolation and devoid of love or nurturing. His childhood, manipulated by Vought to make him the ultimate weapon, left him with a psychological profile that is deeply troubling. Homelander craves admiration and power, but his need for validation is never satisfied, making him prone to violent outbursts and erratic behavior. Unlike other superheroes who seek to help others, Homelander seeks control and dominance. His desire for recognition is only rivaled by his disdain for weakness, both in himself and others. This leads him to become the ultimate antagonist in the series, constantly clashing with the boys and any other force that threatens his supremacy. Homelander's character is the ultimate critique of power unchecked by morality. He is a being who could, if left unchecked, destroy the entire world. His dynamic with other members of the Seven, particularly with Starlight, Queen Maeve, and Atrain, is defined by manipulation, psychological warfare, and a growing sense of paranoia. As his control begins to falter, Homelander becomes a tragic figure, unable to truly understand or connect with others, forever isolated by his own insecurities and fears. In a world where power is everything, Homelander represents the corrupting influence of unchecked authority. His descent into madness serves as a chilling reminder of what happens when someone with godlike powers becomes the ultimate authority figure, above reproach and immune to the consequences of their actions.